Welcome back to Dealmaker's Den, where we don't just chase assets, we position for inevitabilities. Today, let's talk about the asset almost no one is watching, uranium, and why it could be the most explosive play of the next decade. Here's the reality. The world is desperate for energy. Cheap energy, reliable energy, and clean enough to avoid political backlash. Nuclear energy checks every box, and uranium is the fuel that powers the entire system. Without uranium, nuclear reactors don't run. No matter how much demand rises, you can't fake uranium supply. Let's talk China. China is now the largest energy consumer in the world. It uses more electricity than the US and EU combined, and they're just getting started. China plans to build over 150 new nuclear reactors by 2035, more than the rest of the world built in the last 35 years. Fun fact: each nuclear reactor requires about 450,000 pounds of uranium every year to operate. Multiply that across hundreds of reactors, you're talking millions of pounds of uranium demand in a market that's already critically undersupplied. Meanwhile, the United States also relies heavily on nuclear power. About 19% of all U.S. electricity comes from nuclear plants, but over 90% of the uranium used in America is imported, and a huge chunk comes from unstable regions like Kazakhstan and Russia. Bottom line, supply chains are fragile, demand is guaranteed, and governments have no choice but to back nuclear as a clean energy solution. Why invest now? Uranium prices are still below previous highs. Supply is tightening as miners shut down old, uneconomic operations. New reactor demand is set to surge into the 2030s. This isn't speculation, this is math, and it's already locked into national energy plans.